They say, as you're making decisions in life, you're just doing so based on what's coming at you. But when you look back on it, it looks like a perfectly created novel.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it all has a sense to it. So, I think at the time, I've wanted to do a multitude of different projects. As I said, I think that's really interesting. It's exciting. I like the idea of creating this massive ecosystem, where the farm, informs these different restaurants, and the team in the restaurants that can then do other things. That's really fun. When that's humming, which is where we were getting, right?
We were getting right before pandemic,
Where all the chefs were looking at recipes of different. You had a chef in China and a chef at a casual place. Yeah. And everyone's sort of working. I think that's so fun.
Yeah,
I really do. And I think it comes down to why we get into this business at all, which is that connection with the people that we work with. Yeah. So to grow that world is super attractive to me. So the opportunity came. Ricky Lee, who's from out of Shenzhen, which is in mainland China. Had these ambitions to do this restaurant in China. He's a very well-traveled, well-known sort of foodie. And somehow I was chosen to do it. He enlisted Brian and Mark Canlis of Canlis Restaurant to put this search together globally for the chef who he believed could come in and raise the bar for them.
Did you have to do a dinner for it or something?
They came in to eat a few times.
Okay, gotcha.
I always remember this. I don't know if I've ever told Ricky this story, but it was a Thursday night, 9:30. There was a 4-top on table 9. It was the owner of the Miami Heat. Mm-hmm. It's not Adelson. It's I can't remember his name. So he's there with his family, and then these two young Chinese kids come in wearing sweatpants or something. And I'm I'm going home. I'm done for the night, whatever. And the Chinese kids were up at the table talking to the guy from the Miami Heat, and we were trying to manage the situation, or whatever. Those two guys, that was Ricky and Edward, who's his partner in the thing, and Ricky's a huge Miami Heat fan, randomly enough. But anyways, the point being, they came in a couple times and ate, and we talked a lot. I flew out there. I was actually in Hong Kong anyways doing something, a dinner at the Jockey Club there, and it just worked. And we were able to open in August of last year, and to our earlier conversation, Miles, who was a sous chef at Tram, came here
for a little bit to
help open it.
Yeah. And then he went off and did some stuff, and then came back.
Yeah. Then he went back to Canada. Yeah. He became the chef, and he has done just a great job.
He is so talented.
Dude, he's a jack of all trades. Yeah. So that's why I really thought that was a perfect fit for him, because it's a bit Wild West out there in terms of you might not be able to get the flour that there's nothing.
Yeah.
You got to know how to figure it out.
Yeah, know how to figure it out. Yeah.
And he's to your point, incredibly talented. And he's doing a great job and really evolving the vision there. Because we went in saying we're going to do Tram meets Southern China, but the food at Tram is pretty esoteric and austere, and it's one little thing on a plate, and that just doesn't fly there.
Yeah.
So we've been, he's done a really good job of understanding the local audience in a degree that I haven't been able to, because I haven't been able to get there because of COVID.
Yeah.
So he's crushing it. So yeah, and Sue's been a really wonderful project, and my plan this year was to spend a lot of time in China understanding the place and people better, and hopefully we can do that whenever this shit show ends.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Very cool. So, do you have a part in the food over there, or is it mainly gotcha?
Yeah. Yes. So me and Miles talk every week. We talk about the menu. We had some really big plans coming for this year. Some really big guest chef things and stuff.
Yeah.
But so we work on
Are they closed over there?
No, they're open. They're
open full on. Busy.
They're doing great. Yeah.
Boom. Yeah. China. Good job taking care of COVID. Yeah. Thank you for introducing it and then slowing the curb.
Yeah.
Making us look like fools.
Yeah. We do that by ourselves.
My goodness. Yeah. Well, chef.
That's it?
What
do I get questions?
Yeah, you got some questions. Yeah.
So today's your last day.
Today's my last day at the Charter Oak. Yes.
And in addition to being your last day at the Charter Oak, it's your last. When did you start? You said at Tram.
2013, December 28th.
So 7 years.
7 years.
So 7 years. This is your last day.
Last day.
So how do you
7
feel?
years. I feel incredibly blessed. I feel lucky that you guys accepted me, because I knew as you grow in your company, you know that you take your sous chef's advice seriously. They're your consiglieres. They fucking let you know, this guy's no good or this guy's good. And I think that Chef Kat and Chef John and even Oliver at that time were like, yeah, let's take a chance on this kid, and And I think you did as well. And just the fact that I showed up at the back door was, I always think if you're going to get a job, you got to fucking make a statement. And that was what I had to do. Right. I didn't want to become just another resume in the stack that I'm sure you have to this day, So I was like, how can I do that? And that's old school. Nobody does that anymore.
I used to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like you told me, like when I walked in, you were like, there's a culinary school right down the road and not one person has ever done this. Ever. And to this day, I don't think has, again, so I think that's something important for everyone out there. Like, I wasn't necessarily thinking that I was worthy of working at the restaurant, skill-wise or whatever, but if you don't take a chance on yourself, then you never know what the fuck can happen, right. And if you will it, it will happen. Yeah. So,
I mean, I applaud that, and I've been doing this for a long time. I think that you, from day one to the last day, to today, have a certain spirit and a degree of self-confidence isn't enough. It's self-belief. Mm-hmm. That I know, as sure as we're sitting here, that whatever you want to do, you're going to be able to do. Coupled with the fact that your trajectory, how should I say this? The more life experience you have, the more things you see, the more things you do, the better you get. Mm-hmm. That is not how it works for most people, in my experience. Meaning, people are who they are. We're a bit calcified.
Yeah.
We're stuck in sort of our own little bubbles over our heads, and that's what it is. I think you have such a degree of upside and potential owing to your self-belief, but owing to your innate curiosity, and sort of you live with your eyes and ears really open. And I think, and I know that so much success is gonna befall you.
Yeah.
And I appreciate so much all this time. I mean, again, man, even to the last day, the way you finished at this restaurant, it's very rare. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you look back on all this, I really hope that you do so with a tremendous amount of pride.
Oh, for sure.
And that I and the restaurant and the people in it were able to make your life better for the time you were here.
Honestly, it is probably the greatest experience of my life. And I've had great experiences working for chefs, and I wouldn't be able to do it without Chef Jake Rojas. He definitely upped the ante on how aggressive you can be formed, right. Which helped me then be in that kitchen and survive, right. With all those guys that wanted to be great. And now look, Chef Miles is and Sue and Chef Kat has got Yangban Society down in L.A., and the testament is all there. Everyone who has worked for you has a level of success that was much more than when they started. And
but my success is because of those people as well. Meaning, I'm very cognizant of that. Like, there's a lot of conversations in the industry about credit and things like that. And while I'm nothing, and that restaurant's nothing without all of you. And
exactly.
I don't mean that as some bullshit hyperbole, like a nice thing, like a Hallmark card thing to say.
Yeah. I
mean, genuinely, from a content creation to culture to attitude to just human capital, that restaurant doesn't exist without all these people.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I want to thank you, Chef. I want to thank every single person that I've crossed paths with at the restaurant at Meadowood, and Sue at Charter Oak. Anybody that I've ever met through you has become a great friend in my life, to be honest. Like the fact that I have these chefs' phone numbers in my phone and I can call them is all because of you. Doing potlucks and thank you for that. Guest chef events is possibly the greatest thing that I've ever been introduced to in a world when I came to work at the restaurant.
We were at the forefront of
it was like 12 days. Brigade dinner with Dan Giusti, a bunch of other events that it's like almost like you'd be sitting at home like I'm bored. Let's do the fucking event next week. And I will always remember the event we did in North Carolina when me, you, and Chef John went over there. And I got to tell this story. So we roll into this restaurant. It's Pool's Diner. Chef Ashley Christensen, amazing chef, badass lady.
Yeah, great lady.
And we go to this Pool's Diner. Like, I don't really know Chef that well. I don't know Chef John that well. Like, I've just been working maybe for 8 months at that point. And I'm like, okay, they're taking a big chance on me. This is it. And we're working at this Pools Diner. Chef John is basically doing everything, and I'm just like doing the canapes and like going down on that. So we do the event, and that was a good feeling because, you know, everything went off without a hitch. And it's hard to try to do 3-star food, especially at Pools Diner. That kitchen was tiny. We were grilling outside in the rain. It kept raining on the coals. It was like, you know, there's always these things. And I would say Chef John is the greatest person at an event to just make shit happen when you got all the elements are against you.
So much fun.
You know?
I just had so many fun times with him.
Yeah, man. I mean, you guys traveled the world and cooked together, and
all over, man.
That guy is just fucking MacGyver when it comes to shit. Like, he just makes it happen.
Where's Massimo's place? Me and him.
Modena, yeah.
A
lot of memories. We go there, we do the event. And, like, at this point, you get behind the bar, elbow the bartender out of the way. You start pouring us whiskey shots. We get fucked up. And then we're like, all right, we're going to go to the bar. What do? We all pile in the back of a pickup truck bed. And we're in North Carolina, so I'm like, yeah, this is legal here, right? Like, we're in the South, right? Like, whatever. So me, you, and Chef John are in the back. Then we get pulled over down the road. And I'm like, Chef, give me your beer. And I fucking hide it with some jackets or whatever. The cop's like, get the fuck out of there. So we, you know, hop out of the back of the truck. Ashley Christensen is like, I own this town. The fuck, who I am? Yelling at the cops. I was like, this is amazing, man. White people get uppity with the police. And then, you know, we roll to the bar, but the person who drove us to the bar got a DUI. Yeah. Later on, her significant other ended up getting some. I want to see how you're going to tell. I want to see how you're going to tell the story. He was getting some fellatio in the street. In the street. Yeah, no, I'm going to go right on and say it. I said fellatio. It's okay. And John got his hair braided at the bar. So we were just out of sorts.
I don't know how I got home that night because I wasn't with you guys.
Yeah, there was a lot of not remembering how we got to back to our hotel rooms during that trip. Yeah. But I remember my first day back, coming back off the plane, and went down on canapes super hard. And Chef Cat's like, you better be ready to party hard and then come and work harder. And I was like, damn. Like, you know, schooled by the best. Those
events were I love doing those events.
Yeah.
Especially when I was younger, like where I could hang a little bit more and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Those events those are real crucibles. Those are real tests to the point because we go out and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's also how well can you function in not your environment.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And you were always like, we fly out Friday, do the event Saturday, fly back Sunday, work Sunday night. Like it was always like you're coming back to service. So
that's how we even did it with China. I mean,
for sure. Yeah, that's right.
I'd leave work, go to the airport, fly to China, do the thing, come back.
But that's cool, man. I think I saw you at a certain point before this pandemic hit your stride with that.
Yeah.
Like I think you liked being in other places, and it kind of let me change things here a little bit. Yeah. And let me kind of be on my own, and then you'd come back, and I'd be like, okay, well, how do I do with this, this, and this?
That's how it needs to be. And as I said, that's the fun ecosystem we can build. I love that.
Yeah,
I really do.
For sure. I mean, the communication of the restaurant and Meadowood team and the Charter Oak team will always continue. Yeah. I always talk to everyone that I've worked with. Even Carl the other day, I talked to him.
Shout out to Carl.
So shout out to Carl. Neatest prep lists in history of cooking. Nah. All right. But, this is bittersweet for me. But like you said, I'm very driven. And everything that I've ever done in this past 7 years working for you has been like something that I've said. Like when I was going to work for you, it's called the Ocean Drive Blunt Cruise. It's the best blunt cruise in America, rated by High Times, and I don't even know what a blunt cruise is. It's in Newport, Rhode Island. So it's basically like you go smoke on this cruise. I rode a bike and I smoked, which was terrible. It was hot. I'm sitting on this rock looking at the water, like you're gonna go work at the restaurant at Meadowood, and in 3 years you're gonna be sous chef, and that's like exactly what happened, awesome. Word for word. So thank you. And thank everyone. And this has been an incredible episode of Sucio Talk. Awesome. There will be more episodes to follow, but this Chef Christopher Kostow. None of them is good, though. Hell no. That's Chef Christopher Kostow, episode number Who Gives a Fuck. Tune in next week where we'll have Andrew D'Angelo. CEO of Harborside. That's that dispensary down in Oakland. But I do have that wrong. He's not the CEO anymore. So I fucked that up, but it's okay. I'll edit it out. All right? Signing off.